gifted me my first non-fiction self-help book of my life, which was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I'm sure you all must have heard about it, read it. And I was glued to that book. I finished it in 2 days and I went mad on my friends, on my teachers, my parents. I went to my school principal and fought with her that in last 10 years of education, you did not teach me about money. And then suddenly you say you have to earn money for your family. You should be the breadwinner. And nobody even discusses about money. Yeah, I had developed some misconceptions about money that these Bill Gates and Warren Buffets, their brain is wired differently and hence they are rich. My brain is normally wired, it is normally designed, so there are zero chances of me getting rich. And Robert Kiyosaki said something exactly opposite. No, it's a simple science of money. You have to understand the difference between passive income and active income. Yeah, why rich people become rich? Because they focus on passive income. They invest in assets and businesses so that if they go on vacation for 1 year and come back, their money has increased. Whereas active income is you don't go to the job for 6 months, you are bedridden and your cash flow is stopped. That blew my mind. That oh my God, I've missed something big in my 10 years of formal education. I'm not saying formal education is not needed, but it is not complete. And literally, I I created a list of 100 best-selling self-help books. 5 a.m. Club, Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, yeah, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Have you heard about this book by Dale Carnegie? If you haven't read this book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, I would bluntly say you have committed a sin in your life. It's a must read at least once in your lifetime. It's a Bible to me. Don't go by the name. The name is very cliche. Sounds like a YouTube thumbnail. How to win friends and he could have given a better name, but I literally live that book. Yeah, I literally endorse that book, and it is such an old book, but it is timeless and will be relevant for next 5,000 years. Yes or no? Uh, so books like these, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. So I understood that the power of a stupid book changed my mindset within few minutes. I should read more. My brother used to say that read random, I'll read more. I'll read one book a day at least. And since then, I started reading all the books which I had left half read, which were gathering dust on the bookshelf. I cleaned the dust, completed the incomplete books, then borrowed books from my friends, neighbors. Although I was reading random, most of the people have a typical pattern, a particular category of books. So most of the books were biographies and autobiographies of great world leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Swami Vivekanand, Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who is one of our, we call them as the missile man of India. Yeah, John F. Kennedy. And I found the answer why I failed in my 3 previous startups. I realized my mistake. It was the question I asked myself whenever I started a new venture. And the question was, what's in it for me? My money, my progress, my wealth, my profits, my career, my goals, my dreams. It was all selfish, me, 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 me. And these world leaders, whom the whole world is following even after their death for 100 years. I mean, if Gandhi had a Twitter handle today, Twitter would have collapsed because of huge number of followers. That popular he was. And he said in one of his books, My Experiments with Truth, written by Mahatma Gandhi. And he said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And that came like a tight slap on my face. That, oh my God, I was thinking exactly the opposite. I was thinking about taking, and they are talking about giving without expecting anything in return. Oh my God. Unselfishness was their core human value of most of the world leaders. And I was completely selfish. I learned a new term. I learned a book called servant leadership. Sounded like an oxymoron. You know what's oxymoron? Using two opposite words in the same line. Sir, servant and leader, how can both happen at the same time? Servant leadership. And our Prime Minister, current Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, he calls himself as a servant leader. Or no, other examples of oxymoron could be empty crowd, silent noise. One of my favorite oxymorons, happily married. I hope you get my joke. Those who did not get the joke, just forget. uh, and so there was a paradigm shift in my mindset from what's in it for me to what can I give. And things started changing. And I finally concluded that let money come as a byproduct of my passion. I'm not saying I'm not against money. Okay. I call myself as a social entrepreneur, not a social worker. Social worker is always at the mercy of the donor. If there is no donation, no work, right? You come at a standstill. Social entrepreneur has income streams. Okay. But to cover the costs, not to maximize personal wealth. All right. The revenue stream should be very thoughtful to cover the costs. Okay. And it should come as a byproduct of your why, of your purpose.